So I'm about to save you a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of frustration when it comes to swinging the golf club. And I know a lot of you battle with it, that golfer's elbow or that tennis elbow of the trail side. When I say trail side, I'm a right-handed golfer, that's my right arm. And the reason why we run into this problem so often is because you're playing a sport that most of you have your dominant side sitting in behind the golf ball, and you want to use it excessively. And when you start using it excessively and you get your shoulder or your elbow out of position in the downswing, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Now listen, we're gonna train you today on what it's like to get your arm to move properly in space. But I want you to remember, if you have some underlying issues where you haven't addressed this with a physical therapist, go address it first before you start taking on a drill of this nature. I'm gonna teach you how to get yourself from a static address position up to the top of your golf swing, into impact and through the hitting area with your elbow in a perfectly safe spot so that you'll never put yourself in harm's way ever again. Sounds like a pretty exciting idea, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, so before I get into today's drill, before I get into depth on how to protect your elbow, do me a big favor, head down below and subscribe to the channel and make sure you turn on your bell notifications. It's really big for us to know that you get notified when our new content comes out. And if you like today's video, then hit the thumbs up button for us. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post that up below. Now let's get to work. So the first thing I want you to understand is that understanding the difference between internal and external humerus rotation is gonna be the big key here, okay? Now, if I were to hold my trail arm out in front of my body and I were to flex it to, let's say 80 or 90 degrees, and I was gonna maintain this connection at the very top of my bicep and chest and move my arm away from my body, this is what we call external humerus rotation. This is the good rotation to have in your takeaway, your backswing, in your downswing, and into your delivery position. The bad one to have is the internal rotation. So if you move your arm in the opposite direction, what did you just see my elbow do? Well, it moved away from my center. That on the way down, getting your elbow out and away from your body because you're trying to overuse the shoulder or the arm is now putting you in a position when you start the club down in that final descent into the golf ball. It's gonna start putting your arm into a hyperextended position when it goes straight down to the ground like that, and that's why you're feeling the discomfort that you are. Now, I understand that telling you that you overuse your trail arm is not fixing the problem. So we're about to fix that right now. But I want you to be able to go through this drill and understand that the key piece here is understanding how to use your elbow pit properly from your address position to the top of the swing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our setup and we're gonna grab a golf club. I've got a 7-iron, I've flipped it upside down. And the reason why I'm flipping it upside down is because I don't want you having a whole lot of momentum and inertia in the golf club that makes it harder for you to focus on the movements. I want you to go ahead and take your setup and I want you to take your left arm and just kind of touch your elbow pit here. My elbow pit is kind of pointed out in front of me towards my golf bag. And what we're gonna do is understand that the primary functions of the trail arm in the golf swing are just elevation and flexion. I want you to feel this movement happening, but I want you to do that with good weight shift and body turn and keeping your elbow pit pointed up towards the sky as you turn to the top of the swing. If my elbow pit turns in towards my golf bag, then you're gonna see that my elbow gets out away from me. So I want you to get a whole bunch of reps under your belt. Let's try to shoot for about 25 reps, just going from a static address position up to the top. Making good turn, focusing in on your elbow pit pointing up towards the sky, feeling like it rotates up immediately. And as you do that, you wanna make sure that you also feel like your right wrist feels like it's a waiter almost holding a tray here. That's gonna help you create a shallower style backswing. Now, what I want you to do from that good backswing position that's got your elbow in a safe spot is now train it what it should feel like on the way down. Now, what I want you to do on the way down from that good position is I want you to think about bringing this elbow, right? Bringing your trail elbow down in front of your trail belt loop with your elbow pit pointed now out in front of you. So it's gonna be elbow pit pointed out in front of you at address, turn, bring this elbow as you shift left down in front of your trail belt loop. And when you stop in this position, what I want you to make sure that you see is that your weight's on your lead side. You shouldn't have tons of tilt to your spine. You should have some. And that you've got this elbow pit pointed out in front of you perfectly, just like I have it. If you can hit that spot and you can do it fluidly for these next 25 reps, then you can start flipping the club around and start trying to make some real swings. Let's go through the protocol. Now, you're gonna have a whole lot of desire when you start to pick up the club here and start making some swings, to start trying to move your elbow away from your body to get the club face to square up. But remember this is a very important piece that I'm about to enlighten you with, is that my wrist and forearm can function independently from the rest of my arm. So think about it from your elbow down to your fingertips as being what's gonna help you square the club face, and everything that's being up above your elbow is helping you protect your body. So you're gonna have this desire when you get down in front of you to start trying to get that elbow turned out away from you as you start trying to release the club. So what we're gonna do here is now we're gonna expand on the drill just a fraction before we bring the golf club in. So we're gonna go up to the top of the swing, and as we come down, what I want you to do is keep that elbow in towards your belt loop and start rotating the wrist and the forearm and extending. You've just learned the entire movement. Do that for another series of 25 reps, flip the club over and start making some real swings, but do it slow. Make sure you get really connected to the movement, and I promise you, you're gonna avoid elbow pain for the rest of your golfing lives. Let's get out there, let's play some great golf. Let's do it safely and responsibly, and have some fun with it.